Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our developer interview series. Today, I am with Colin, and he is one of our power users on the platform. So, Colin, we have a few questions for you today. I kind of want to start with how you first discovered Rival and kind of talk about what made you want to try it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a student here at Tulane University in New Orleans, and one of my good buddies is involved with Rival, and he would come back from breaks and talk to all of our friends about how awesome Rival was and try to get all of us to get on there and start creating functions and using it. And I've always had a pretty strong interest in AI and tech in the past, so I hopped on and decided to try it. And I think the rest kind of speaks for itself. I took off.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're giving it a go. And that kind of leads me into, did you have any background before jumping on Rival, whether it was in the AI technology space or building tools such as functions or agents?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a student studying finance and energy here at Tulane, but I've always had a pretty strong interest. And in the past, at internships, I've created some websites and some tools. But I mean, with Rival, I've kind of learned that the barriers were pretty low, and I was surprised that it seemed like there was a real need for these simple functions that I was making. So I guess the short answer is no, I haven't had any real experience with CS or AI developing, but with a pretty strong interest in it personally, I've been able to just pave my way and learn as I go.
Awesome. And so I know your organization on Rival is Thunderbird AI, and you have
Mhm.
quite a few functions, I believe almost 70, maybe even more than that by now. Us back to the first function that you
Mhm.
built. Kind of walk us through how you kind of came up for that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The cold email generation function. And I think to this day, it's still one of my most popular functions that I've posted so far. And when I was first trying to kind of develop ideas, I think I was going along the lines of like tools with a really wide business utility that could be used in a lot of different contexts. I think I was just trying to capture as many people as I could, and I think I can say that it's worked out. And the cold email generation function, it allows users to input like their name, their company name, product, or like a selling point, and the function develops just like some three different versions of cold emails. And I think that's something that can be used pretty widely. I think that's one of the reasons that it took off, and it was the first one.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely know people on our team that have utilized the tool. What was one of the hardest parts about coming onto this platform and kind of building and putting something from idea to being live?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the idea generation can take a little bit of time, but I
Mhm.
mean, aside from that, there's every other step is really pretty easy. I mean, how Rival handles everything, you just once you have an idea and develop it and publish it on Rival, Rival kind of does the rest and gets it to the customer, whether that's packaging it in a workflow or utility to a customer or just letting them use that function directly. I guess for me, maybe some of the idea generation can take a little bit of time, but once I have a tool published, Rival does the rest and makes it pretty easy for me.
That's great to hear. More fun stuff,
Yeah.
the money aspect of it. So we know you've obviously started making some money on Rival as one of our first, power users on there. And it's only going to grow more exponentially as your tools just keep running in the background on projects. But kind of when did it click for you of like, oh, I can actually just make tools and use this as a side hustle and kind of make money while also going to school?
Yeah, there definitely was a moment. I think a few weeks ago, I would wake up every morning and check on like hop on Rival and check how many runs my tools had and what my revenue number was. And for a while, I really didn't expect very much to change. But there was this one morning I woke up and I opened it and I saw one of my functions, the cold email generator, actually had generated like hundreds of uses, and I think that turned out to be like $25 or $30, which isn't a huge amount, but it was definitely the moment that kind of clicked for me that these tools that are priced at fractions of a cent per use can actually turn into some real money in my pocket. So that was definitely the moment for me.
Great. Yeah. And I know you've talked a lot about your cold email generator, but are there any other types of functions that you're creating with your organization Thunderbird AI that you're seeing are also kind of gaining some traction? Is there like any specific niche that you're really
Mm.
saying take off?
Yeah, I mean, I think generally when I go about building these tools, I try to capture the widest business utility to just capture the largest amount of need and use for these tools. But I think specifically I've developed a collection of MCP tools that allow users to connect to like popular platforms like Airtable and Notion and Shopify. And all of those are showing pretty strong signs of early growth, and I think they have a lot of potential. So I'm definitely going to try to expand on that niche in the coming future.
Awesome. And, it's obviously not all about the money, but we
Mhm.
do want to talk about you as a college student. How do you think Rival has kind of changed or shifted gears for you and how you're thinking about the future of your
Mhm.
career?
Yeah. I mean, I think developing Unrival has just kind of shifted how I think about the trajectory, like as a whole. Because I mean, I always assumed that there were high barriers to entry when it comes to AI and tech, and it's always been something that I've been interested in, but I never really thought that. I mean, I'd be able to break into it. Rival has definitely shown me that it's pretty easy to develop tools that actually gain traction, and I mean, it's opened a lot of doors. I mean, not just as a replacement for like my life as a college student or a traditional career path, but something that like a cool side hustle that I can devote time and energy to, that I can grow alongside it. And I don't think that I would see this opportunity without Rival.
Awesome. And what is one thing that you would say to other students who are thinking about getting started on Rival or really just building with AI in general?
Yeah, I mean, I would say go for it. I mean, I think right now there's a lot of students like myself that have a pretty strong passion or interest in AI and technology, but I mean, myself included, a few weeks ago, I didn't really know where to devote this time and energy. But I think Rival is a really great avenue, and I think the AI developing the time has never been easier and more possible. So, as a college student, I'd say go for it.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate your time today, Colin, and thank you so much.